everyone, and welcome back to another Storytime video. And today I am going to talk about my first day working in a factory. Now, I think in the past I have talked about my last day as an operator anyway, working in a factory, because in case I haven't told you or you don't know, I still work in a production factory, but I work IT in an automotive factory still. But that's a lot different from working as an operator. And by the way, even though I didn't exactly like being an operator in a factory, I mean, I saw some dislikes on a video where I've talked about it before. Look, man, just because I didn't like it doesn't mean I don't respect the people, the men and women that work very hard to help produce the goods that I use on a daily basis. I have a lot of respect for you guys and gals, and I have a lot of empathy. That does not go away just because I don't work as an operator anymore. So even when I say I don't recommend being an operator in a factory, which is what I think bothered some people, don't let that rub you the wrong way. I mean, heck, I don't recommend anybody really be a stripper or whatnot. But do I hate it? No, I don't hate it. It's like, well, I don't recommend anybody, I don't know, I don't know, I can't think of another example off the top of my head, but it's like, hey, I respect it. I wouldn't recommend becoming a stripper, though, but hey, I respect it. You know, people gotta make money somehow. So just because I wouldn't recommend being an operator in a factory doesn't mean that I would tell people to not do it. If you can shoot for hire and you're able to, go ahead and do it, which is what I was doing. So in my case, I was thinking of people that are in my shoes. But yeah, so I'm sorry if that comment bothered people. When I talked about my last day working in a factory, I am glad that I don't have to be an operator anymore, because I get to do what I love and what I chose to do and what I wanted to go to college for. So that comes from a sense of not being able to do what I love, and now that I am able to do what I love, that's why I wouldn't recommend it and all that. So try not to take it the wrong way, and I'm sorry if my comment about that bothered people, because I remember saying that and the dislike and thinking, oh, people must have hated that. But anyway, I really respect operators. I'm just glad that I'm not one anymore, because definitely now that I work in the front office, I see more of how they treat operators, and it's kind of sad. And but anyway, so my first day working as an operator. So I had to wait to go back to school. I think I've mentioned that a couple times before, because of the demand of IT. And even though companies are now starting to get a little bit more lenient in terms of hiring, when I was graduating high school, this was pre-COVID even, So, pre-COVID, graduating high school, trying to figure out where I can go to college to do IT. And once I found a college that would help me excel and one that I felt was right for me, I had to wait on it because of the demand of the information technology and infrastructure management classes. That's the full title, ITIM. Anyway, so I had to wait on that. And so but the problem is that I had no idea how long I would have to wait. And so in the meantime, it was a matter of uh getting experience. Getting more work experience besides that local Mexican restaurant job that I've talked about on the channel. Because, as I've mentioned here, that was my first job. So I only had one job to that point, and I was about to graduate high school, and I knew that I would have to wait on school. So it's like, okay, what do I do in the meantime while I'm waiting to go to college? And I discussed it primarily with my dad, but I discussed it with my parents, and they were like, "Hey, there's several factories around here. You can do that, make some money, so that you would be okay, and that would give you more job experience in the world." And so a couple weeks after graduating, I graduated high school, and like a week after I graduated, they called me and they were like, "Hey, the particular factory called me that starts with a Z. Heck, that might even be too much information. Because if you knew the name of the factory, then you could pinpoint it down. Oh, shoot. Well, it starts with a Z. Anyway, with the place that starts with a Z, well, plus I don't even work there anymore, so I don't care. Anyway, so the place with a Z calls me, and they're like, "Hey, we would like to set you up with an interview," of course. And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so they gave me the details, and I interviewed with one of the managers there. Turns out that manager actually knew my uncle, one of my uncles from school, from high school. And plus, my grandmother knew the plant manager and the guy that was right under him. So the second in charge for this plant, who is now actually the plant manager, my grandmother knows. So not only did I have connections, but I think that I also aced the interview. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I did well enough that they were like, "Hey, we want to hire you." Regardless, they had us in for orientation. Not that day. I think it was like a week. Yes, it was a week later. They called me again, and they were like, "Hey, we're wondering if you could start tomorrow." I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I go in for orientation the next morning, and we had the standard orientation of, "Hey, this is how it's gonna be. You guys are gonna have vacation days. You guys are gonna have all these benefits." Because for as much as I might criticize this place and critique it, this place, compared to a bunch of the other factories in the area where I grew up, uh, had terrific benefits. Terrific benefits. So I don't remember if I was really critical of the place in the video or two prior to me talking about them, but that was one of the best things that I had while working there, were great benefits. Thankfully, I never had to use them, but they were great benefits. Well, the vacation time I used, but the dental and the vision and the health, thankfully I didn't need to use those. But anyway, the place had really, really good benefits. Regardless, go in for the orientation, do all that, and then I go out to the production floor where I'm supposed to be, along with whomever is supposed to be out there with me. They have two main areas of the building, and I ended up working both main areas of the building. But half of us went to one, half of us went to the other, and the people that were supposed to go with me went with me, as you can imagine. And they, of course, trained you doing whatever they had you doing, and it was easier than the Mexican restaurant job that I had while I was in high school. So in terms of the job, I will definitely say that. And I got to go home. I got to work day shift that day while I was normally supposed to be on second. So it sucked that I wasn't able to stay on day shift. But within a year of me being there, I was able to go to day shift. But I don't remember a whole lot besides just going in there and learning what they did and figuring all that out. But it also helps when you have two terrific supervisors. And the supervisors back then, I don't know if it's still that way now. It's been years since I've worked there. But regardless, the first and second shift supervisor for that department would swap out. Like, they would spend a couple weeks on each shift and then swap. So you got to spend quality time with each supervisor. And we had a couple really good supervisors. So even though I don't remember a whole lot from that particular first day, partly because it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, to put it nicely, I just wasn't sure how long I'd be there. And even though I knew that it was a big deal for me, like, first day at a job and last day at a job are always big deals to me, because it is always fun to look at how you started and what you were in life versus or when you start a job versus when you finish a job. Like, how much time did you spend there? What changed in your life? Did you get a new car? Did you have any kids during that time? Did you buy a new house? Or were you able to get a nice apartment, or maybe a nicer apartment, or whatnot? It's just very interesting to see. But yeah, um, I'll have to revisit this story at some point in the future. But yeah, just wanted to cover it since it was still on my mind. Because I was thinking about this one day at work, just sitting at my desk and typing up a report, and I was like, I should talk about the first day I worked as an operator. And by the way, some of the operators at work are absolutely amazing. And I could brag on some of the operators that we have on second shift at work, uh, which is the shift that I work, all day long. All day long. But yeah, that will pretty much do it for me. And see us, guys. I do believe that will do it for this storytime video. And next storytime video, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching. I know I suck at Halo 3. Give me a break, would ya?